Good morning, everyone. I feel like I'm peering over here. I know we'll still have some folks that are going to be joining us and straggling in, but for those of you that are already here in your seats, I thought we should get started and start with our introductions, some housekeeping. My name is Kathy Thompson. I am with the court system. I'm the Director of Children's Justice. I get to work with our statewide treatment court coordinator and our statewide behavioral health manager. And welcome to our 2025 Mental Health Summit, Iowa's Pathway Forward. For those of you who may have joined us in June of 22, we had our first mental health summit that we sponsored then, and that was a great success. We had people attend in their judicial districts. I know for some of them, it really got them motivated, and they've never stopped since then. So I'm looking forward to the next couple days and kind of celebrating some success that's already happening in this state. And we're grateful that all of you showed up and are here to join us for the next day and a half. We have, of course, a packed agenda, but we're hoping this summit is going to bring us together as the court system, the health system, law enforcement, community partners, other stakeholders, because it'll take all of us to be able to implement a brand new system and really build the response we need for the population we're intending to serve. Just a show of hands. I know that I looked at the registration list, but how many are from the court system? Judge, clerks, court administration? Okay. How about, well, I know we do have law enforcement here because they kind of tipped me off, but how many are from law enforcement? There you are. Yeah, great, thank you. How about health systems, broader health system, behavioral health system? Yep, excellent. That's who I assumed would be the biggest group in the audience. How about some community partners, some of the provider agencies, community action? Okay, and I don't think everybody got a chance to hold their hand up. Who did I miss? Or did that kind of categorize everybody? Legislators, yes, awesome, thank you. And then parole, yeah, thank you, Renee. Okay, cool. We are just pleased that you're all here. And we think that we're going to learn from each and every one of us, along with our presenters that'll join us up on the stage. We know that it'll take collaboration for us moving forward, and some of that's already underway, but we're hoping this will give us a further boost. Few housekeeping. Restrooms, if you've not already noticed them, are directly across the hall here. To access the summit materials, instead of copying a bunch of things, we have a website. It'll have speaker bios, presentation materials. We'll still be adding to those, and other resources. On the computer screen, it's snoozing right now, but there will be a QR code there, and there should be a QR code on some of the tables that you can just scan that. It'll take you right to the website for the summit, and we will continue to add materials there. So we hope that you will stop by and visit it from time to time, and it'll be a place to kind of go visit some of the resources that you may need moving forward. And the QR code is on the little table tent thing that you have on your table. Let's see. This morning we have opening remarks, and we have a couple panel presentations over the lunch hour. Lunch is provided. It'll be served out in that hallway, and it'll be buffet style. During the lunch period, we're going to have some remarks by Chief Justice Susan Christensen, and then in the afternoon we'll have another panel and then a special presentation at the end of the day. What I'd encourage you to do as you listen to our speakers is think about some of the ideas and some of the information you're sharing. And we're hoping that you will be thinking that in terms of how can it enhance the work that you're doing back in your local districts, your local communities. And I think that'll come in handy tomorrow, because we are going to do some a breakout and some action planning. And we're hoping that some of the information you hear today may be something your team will consider moving forward. And we wanted to provide that opportunity for you to have some discussion about that before everybody goes home and gets super busy again. Alrighty, without further ado, I am going to introduce our first presenter this morning. Bob Gast is our state court administrator. I've known Bob for a while. I do have to do a special shout out. I did point out to him that he wore his purple tie. We're both like diehard Vikings fans, and it's been a long road. So any other Vikings fans out, skol. But I noticed he wore a purple tie, so I had to point that out. Bob oversees statewide court administration and operations, and really is the person who oversees our partnerships with all the different organizations and agencies we work with. He has had a long career in court administration. He's been in the 4th District. He crossed over the Missouri River into Nebraska for a little bit, and then he came back to Iowa, so we're glad he's back. And he has been our state court administrator since 2021. Bob has been a huge supporter of behavioral health efforts. He has an opportunity to hear what's going on across the country, but he's been instrumental in helping me bring Lori Hancock-Muck on board as our statewide behavioral health manager. And for those that may not know Lori, she's back at the table in the back waving her hand. So I'll turn the microphone over to Bob.
Thank you, Kathy. Welcome, everyone. As Kathy said, I'm Bob Gast. I'm the State Court Administrator for the Iowa Judicial Branch. On behalf of our entire team, I want to welcome you to our second Mental Health Summit. The first one, I think, was very successful. We got a lot of ideas out on the floor and a lot of ways to make people think. And I'm very hopeful and very sure that we will do the same thing at this summit. And I want to thank you all for coming from wherever you've come, to the judges and court staff, to our law enforcement, our prosecutors, defense counsel, treatment providers, hospital partners, community advocates, and people with lived experience. Your presence shows a shared community involvement to make sure we have safer communities and healthier outcomes, and a justice system that serves with fairness and dignity for those folks that have mental health concerns. Nationally, our courts sit at a crossroads where public safety, individual liberty, and public health meet. Our role as administrators is to make sure the system around our judges and our frontline partners, all of you, is reliable, coordinated, and data informed. That means we have to build a scaffolding, policies, technology, training, funding pathways, and all the local partnerships with all of our partners that help the right thing happen at the right time for each particular person. Over the next 2 days, you're going to hear about many opportunities across the sequential intercept framework, from crisis response and diversion, competency evaluation and restoration, treatment courts, reentry, and long-term supports. As you listen and work in your groups, I'd ask you to keep an eye on the practicality of how we can implement many of those ideas. What could we implement in the next 90 days in your county or district? What could take 6 to 12 months with the right partners? And what, in your opinion, deserves a longer statewide effort with clear milestones? From the administrative side, we'll be focusing on 3 enablers of success: data and measurement, defining a small set of shared indicators, time to evaluation, connections to care, use of crisis alternatives, and successful returns to court so we can see what's working and where we need to adjust. Workflow and technology. Simplify our handoffs between courts, jails, and providers. Standardize forms where possible. Expand information sharing agreements that protect our privacy while enabling care coordination. Capacity and training. How to support judges, clerks of court, and partners with practical tools, bench cards, referral pathways, and cross-training, so local teams don't have to reinvent the wheel in each county. that we have standardization across the state to help us all do our jobs quicker and better for the people we serve. With all of that, I want to recognize the realities all of you face in our state. Rural distance, staffing shortages, and limited treatment options. The judicial branch can't solve all those problems alone, but we can be a strong partner, helping to clear the procedural barriers, elevating data, and advocating for approaches that work in Iowa, not just on paper. And with that, before I move on, I want to recognize the Iowa Health and Human Services Department, not just for co-sponsoring this summit, but for collaborating with us every step of the way. Their partnership makes gatherings like this possible and keeps the momentum going long after we leave here today. We've got a couple more housekeeping items for us. We'll try hard to start and end on time for you. We know your time is precious, and we know we all have jobs outside of our forum. Materials will be posted after the summit for you to bring back to your teams. Today we'll remain here in this room for all of our sessions, and then at noon we'll pause for a 45-minute buffet-style lunch. Please feel free to recharge and connect with colleagues at your leisure during that time. And after lunch we'll reconvene and continue hearing from our speakers until 5 p.m. Tomorrow our session will run from 8:30 to noon, with most of the morning dedicated to our small group action planning. This will be your opportunity to collaborate and develop concrete strategies to bring back to your communities. Most importantly, take advantage of those in this room. Exchange cards, compare notes, ask the hard questions of each other. The best outcomes we can get for the people we serve come from candid conversations and a willingness to pilot, evaluate, and iterate. Thank you again for being here and for the work that you all do every day. It is an honor to welcome you on behalf of the Iowa Judicial Branch. With that, it's my pleasure to turn the program back over to our moderators so we can get this kicked off. Thank you.